Hello everyone, welcome to Chessmaster Strategy. In this and the next couple of videos, we are going to study the main line of the Queen's Gambit Declined opening, followed with the different developments played by the World Champions and the Grandmasters. Queen's Gambit is one of the oldest openings and is still commonly played today. It is traditionally described as a gambit because white appears to sacrifice, as you can see, the c-pawn. However, this could be considered a misnomer, as black cannot retain the pawn without incurring a disadvantage. The Queen's Gambit is divided into two major categories based on black's response: the Queen's Gambit Accepted and the Queen's Gambit Declined. You can see after d4, d5, c4, if black takes the pawn, we call that Queen's Gambit Accepted. There are a number of different variations could play. For example, and bishop finally takes back the c-pawn, and on the c4 square, aiming for the c to g diagonal. You could also play b3. Same thing, bishop is on the c4 square. And for the Queen's Gambit Accepted, that's much less popular than the Queen's Gambit Declined. It nevertheless has a solid reputation. Now let's check the Queen's Gambit Declined. That means I will not take the c-pawn straight away, and instead I can do the other move. For example, I could play this one, I could do this one, I could even do knight c6, and I can try knight c6, or maybe I could do e5. And today we're gonna focus on the main line, which is e6. This also includes lots of different variations. And we're going to focus on the formerly called Queen's Gambit Declined semi-terrace mainline exchange variation. So this is a very famous, popular, and important variation. And this variation includes 12, the totally 12 book moves. Let's study it step by step. In the next move, we play knight c3 and knight f6, then followed by knight f3, c5. Take the pawn, knight takes the pawn back, e4, knight takes the knight, exchange, bishop check, bishop defense, take the bishop, castle, bishop now gets to the c4 square. Knight gets to the c6, castle on the 12th book move, which is the final book move, b6. Remember the formal name for this variation called the Queen's Gambit Declined semi-terrace mainline exchange variation. I hope you guys can remember these total 12 moves. Now let's look at today how this variation developed by the fourth world champion Alexandre Alekhine and the fifth world champion Max Euwe in their 1937 game. In this game, Alekhine played as white and Euwe played as black. On the 13th move, white played as rook d1. You can see white's intention is clear to make the advance of the d4 pawn to d5 square. He got support by four pieces: rook, queen, pawn, and bishop. Very strong support. On the other hand, black only has pawn and queen to fight for this square, so white is in dominant position. In response, Yu played bishop gets to b7, targeting this diagonal. So black's plan is very clear as well. If you play this one at once, you can take that one. If you keep going, I could play my knight here or maybe here. Let's try. If I play in here, you could play bishop in here, and this pawn will be under threat. Or on the other hand, if you want to protect this pawn, three pieces versus two pieces, which is okay, but you don't want to keep going with the pawn. Otherwise, this knight will be under direct attack. And once I use my bishop to attack this knight, you're gonna use your pawn to take this back, which means this pawn structure will be damaged. So it's a very powerful response. And on the next move, queen played as f4, protecting this knight and protecting this line. Also, white's plan is keep going with the d4 to d5 pawn advance. In the case if you take that one back, I can use my bishop to take that one and enhancing this diagonal. Also, I can change from the d pawn to e pawn, making the e pawn advance with the support from the knight, from the queen, and also from this bishop. Very powerful move. Now rook gets to the c8. So in this case, if you keep going this one, I take that one. If you take that one, my knight will be under threat. I can even move to here. But either way, this bishop will be under direct attack by the rook. Also remember, I have this threat as well. So queen cannot protect the knight and bishop at the same time. You could respond by doing rook gets to the c1, protecting the bishop while using the queen to protect the knight, which is fine. For example, if you play this one, I can do this one. I'll take that one, equalize. And in the actual game, d5 is played as the original plan. Of course, I can naturally take that one back. In this case, you got a couple of options. If you take the pawn back by the pawn, the problem is I can retreat my knight as targeting this square. Okay, if you keep going, the problem is this knight will be under attack and at the same time this bishop as well. The queen, as we just mentioned, cannot protect these two squares at the same time. So rook needs to make it one. And knight can get to here, kick the queen off, kick the queen away, and queen can get to here. Better position for the black queen. And so the better move, which is the actual game played, is a bishop take the pawn back. So this is a very powerful move because after this threat is eliminated from the rook to the bishop is eliminated, and also white enhancing the control of this diagonal. The knight is also pinned. Queen played as e7 because black understand white's intention is to move from d to the e pawn, making advance to this square. So black is trying to control this file. Of course, you could play queen to c7 if you want with exchange. That's the equalized position. Otherwise, if you don't, you can play this one. It's also equalized position, no issue for the black side. And in the actual game, you played queen e7. And white played an amazing move, which is knight gets to the g5 square, targeting this one. Now white has 1, 2, 3 pieces, and black also has 1, 2, 3 pieces, fighting for f7, very critical square. So in this situation, be really careful. If you simply wants to pick the knight off, well, it's gonna be a mistake. See what happened? Because you're gonna lose lots of pawns. And white is now in pawn majority, and black is in very damaged pawn position. Now let's get back. In the original game, knight played beautifully as e5, targeting and protecting f7 square. Bishop take the bishop now. Be careful and be patient. If you take the bishop now, what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose the knight. Let's see. All right. So the best move for here is to do the counter attack. Knight played as g6, which is the actual game played. Queen kicks one move forward, on the f5 square. And now it's good timing for the queen to take the bishop back. And rook is now on the 7th. Very powerful move. So you could have a different response to play. For example, if you play queen to here, which is all good, very powerful response by the queen. Or you could play rook gets to here and exchange, no issue for the black side as well. And in the actual game, queen played the amazing move, which is queen gets to the a6, targeting this pawn. If you keep going with a rook, I'll take the pawn back. Very powerful response. After the 20th move, black successfully maintained the balancing position. Based on this 1937 game, people then had to believe that this mainline exchange variation did not provide white with advantage. Until a 1969 game played by the world champion Boris Spassky and world champion Tigran Petrosyan. I will share you that amazing game in the next video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.